Good evening and welcome to our December 15th, 2015 Ogden City Council meeting. Let the roll call reflect that all council members are present. And we will turn the time to Vice Chair White for our Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now, if you would please join us for a moment of silence. Thank you. First item on our agenda tonight is a request to be on the agenda, and we have some time for our state legislators from Northern Utah, and I don't have a list. Who's not seeing anybody either?
We gave the opportunity to all of them, and apparently none decided to accept the opportunity to come speak to us.
Well, maybe we ought to, last year one came late. Maybe what we ought to do is postpone this till the end of the meeting and see if anybody comes. So is that an appropriate thing to do? Do we need a motion for that, or should we just? Okay. All right, the next item is the approval of minutes of the regular meeting of September 15th, 2015. Councilmember Gochner.
I have reviewed those minutes and found them to be accurate.
Thank you. And then the regular meeting of October 6th, 2015, Councilmember Stevens.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I've reviewed those and they're correct.
And then the work session of October 6, 2015, Councilmember Wicks.
Thank you, Chair Heyer. I reviewed those minutes and found them to be accurate.
Thank you. And then the regular meeting of October 20th, 2015, Councilmember Garner.
Yes, Chair Heyer, I've reviewed those minutes and found them to be correct.
Thank you. And finally, the work session of October 20th, 2015, Councilmember Blair.
Yes, thank you, Chair Heyer. I have reviewed those minutes and found them to be correct, and I would make a motion that we adopt those minutes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Blair, seconded by Councilmember Garner to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? All right. Next item is the reports from administration, fiscal year 2015, comprehensive action financial report, and the audit report.
Chair Lisa will introduce our auditor, and then she'll talk about the CAFRA for a minute.
Welcome, Ms. Dowd.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to introduce Alana Eccles. She is the audit manager assigned to Ogden City with Eide Bailey, and has been a great resource. She will spend some time talking about the audit opinion, and then I'll get back up, and I just want to say thank you to everyone.
Thank you. Welcome, Ms. Eccles.
Yes, thank you. First of all, thank you for inviting me. And I'd also like to excuse the engagement partner from our firm, Paul Skeen. He wanted to be here this evening, but he had a conflict with another client's board meeting that's also this evening. So I was happy to be able to represent our firm with respect to this audit report. First of all, I'd like to explain the process of what we do during an audit and what happens, and then briefly review our auditor's reports. So our audit report is on the financial statements, and the financial statements are the responsibility of the city's management, and our responsibility is to conduct the audit in accordance with our standards of our profession, and also to issue an opinion on those financial statements as to whether or not the financials are fairly presented in accordance with accounting principles that are generally accepted. So these procedures begin in the summer around the time of the city's fiscal year end, and we start by looking at the city's inventory and their year-end inventory counts, and we also review the city's processes and procedures over their accounting, and that allows us to do a risk assessment of where we will focus the remainder of our auditing procedures. And this also allows us to determine what we believe is material, since our opinion is in all material respects with respect to the financial statements. And then we begin our auditing procedures on the balances, and we had a team of auditors here at the city administration offices for a few weeks during October performing that test work. Then after that, the financial statements are drafted and they're reviewed by our team, the city management, and also the engagement partner at our firm reviews all of the documentation that we completed during the audit. And in addition to his review, our firm requires an engagement quality control review that is conducted by a second partner that is not a part of the engagement team. And this provides an additional concurring sort of independent look at our audit procedures and also on the city's financial statements. And that review is conducted by a partner who has special industry expertise in governmental financial reporting. So after all of these auditing procedures are completed, we've issued our audit reports today, and that includes 4 auditors' reports. The first report is on the financial statements, and then the other 3 reports are included in a governmental package that covers governmental internal control issues as well as compliance issues. So I'd like to now discuss the auditor's report on the financial statements. Our opinion in that auditor's report is what we call an unmodified opinion. Sometimes this is referred to as a clean opinion. What that means is that the financial statements, we believe, are fairly presented in all material respects in accordance with the accounting standards. Our auditor's report includes an additional paragraph this year that wasn't included last year, and it's called an emphasis of matter paragraph. And what we're emphasizing in that paragraph is that the city has adopted a new accounting policy, and this is in accordance with the Governmental Accounting Standards Board with respect to GASB 68. That's a standard that deals with accounting for pensions, and what that means is that the city was required to adopt this new standard this year, which changed the way that the city accounts for pensions. And that means that a portion of the pension obligation and the pension assets, that the city's portion of those Utah Retirement System pensions are now included in the city's financial statements. So the reason that's in our auditor's report is just to draw attention to the fact that that's something that's new this year. Our auditor's report also discusses some additional information that's included with the financial statements. Our opinion is on the basic financial statements, and included in the annual financial report, there is also some supplementary information, some required supplementary information, and other information such as the statistical section. So our opinion does not cover the required supplementary information or the other information, since we don't audit that information. However, we do conduct certain limited procedures, such as inquiries with respect to that information. Regarding the supplementary information, we do issue an in relation to opinion, which means we agree that information back to the basic financial statements. That kind of summarizes our report on the audit of the financial statements. So now we'll discuss the governmental report. That includes 3 auditors' reports. The first report covers the internal control over financial reporting. And while we don't audit the internal controls, we are required to identify any deficiencies in internal control that are significant deficiencies or material weaknesses. And what that means is that there's a condition which exists where an error could occur that would not be detected by the city's internal controls and procedures. And during the audit, we did identify some misstatements which management corrected and are corrected in the financial report. However, since those were identified during the audit process, we do consider that to be a significant deficiency over internal control. And so those are highlighted in our report. And the report also includes management's response, which we haven't audited, but it indicates what management plans to do to correct for that condition. The second report in our governmental package covers our testing on state compliance. The Office of the State Auditor of Utah, he issues a guide which we're required to follow during that audit, which indicates which areas we should focus our testing on during state compliance. And our opinion with respect to that is that the city complied in all material respects with the compliance areas that we were required to test over the state code. And the third auditor's report in the governmental package covers the federal awards. There were 3 major awards this year that we identified for testing, and our opinion is unmodified on those awards as well, that the city complied in all material respects. In addition to these auditors' reports, we've issued a letter which is required with every audit, and it's addressed to the mayor and the city council, and this letter discusses any major issues that may have occurred during the audit. So if there were any disagreements with management or any difficulties that occurred during the audit, we would be required to disclose those in this letter. And we're pleased to report that there were none. Management was very cooperative, and we were able to obtain all of the information that we needed in order to complete the audit. That letter also discusses some of the city's major accounting policies and how things are accounted for, as well as some of the significant estimates that are made during the financial reporting process, and also any audit adjustments that we made during the audit. I believe this summarizes our reports, and is it appropriate for me to ask if there's questions?
Are there any questions for?
Are there any questions?
Any questions?
Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
We are going to, as my understanding, we will sit down with you as a council in February, and I believe Ide Bailey will be present during that discussion to thoroughly go through the CAFR and answer any detailed questions that you have at that time. I would just like to thank my staff and management services and administration. This is quite an effort to put this together. It takes hundreds of hours. And I'm grateful for all of the support that we have from both you and from administration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Could you just share when that will be available for on the record so that
Amy has a copy that she is going to put out. It will be on the website tomorrow morning, and then we will have some printed copies in a few days. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank all of you as well for all the work that goes into that. And if there's no further discussion.
I just want to say, I didn't realize they started in June. So they just get done with the budget and then they start in an audit. So
you must dream in numbers.
I appreciate your telling us all that you go through. So thank you.
So with that, I will go ahead and make a motion that we accept for review the fiscal year 2015 comprehensive annual financial report and audit report.
Second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Gochner, seconded by Councilmember Wicks, to accept the 2015 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report and Audit Report for review. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, we'll look forward to seeing that and reviewing that. Thanks for all your hard work.
Hello to Paul.
Yeah, tell Paul we missed him. Next item on our agenda is public comments. This is an opportunity to address the council regarding your concerns or ideas. Please state your name and address for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Welcome.
Al Kalishnikov, 552 24th Ogden. I actually wrote my name on the roster so you can get a spelling. Oh, that's really close, huh?
No, you're okay.
Okay. All right, good evening. And I wanted to congratulate you guys on a great job on snow removal on the past storm that came in yesterday and again this morning. Also, besides that, there are some areas of opportunity on some sidewalks, so I'll be happy to point those out later. But in the interest of time, I'll get right down to the matter that I wanted to share. And please feel free to share your opinions or remarks thereafter. But happy Hanukkah, Feliz Navidad, Faraha Kwanzaa, Mubarak Eid, Joyeux Noel, neither of which should detract from anyone's interpretation of a Merry Christmas. By the way, I could once tell you in fluent Greek, Merry Christmas. Even in that nation which has an Orthodox cross on its national flag, many don't celebrate Christmas until after the New Year, which translates to Day of the Epiphany. In the Hellenic or Greek world, East Orthodox Christians recognize both days on the Julian calendar and on the church's Gregorian calendar. So Christmas comes twice a year in actuality. I digress by sharing these little-known factual nuggets to encourage a more inclusive dialogue on the topic of holiday season with Ogden's leaders. Therefore, Happy Holidays isn't meant to negate anyone's idea of detracting from Merry Christmas while being mindful and sensitive of others' customs outside of the Anglo or Anglicized, perceived dominant American culture. As I close, let's be always mindful of those whom are different in a very multicultural society. As our year winds to a close, those of you on the Diversity Connections initiative, please share your thoughts on how Christmas Village or our Christmas Village can reflect more inclusion, if you would, because we reconvene in a few weeks on Diversity Connections. That would make all Ogdenites feel more welcome coming out to this beautiful spectacle we have out back. And thank you very much. Happy holidays to each of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else? Okay, seeing no movement. Mayor Caldwell.
I'll echo a couple of those comments. This being the last council meeting of the year, I'd like to wish everybody happy holidays. I'm happy that Councilman Blair and both Jay and Justin were able to coordinate on outfits to be a little festive. I think that's great. And I'd echo the snow removal. That was a big storm. We haven't had something like that really in the last 3 or 4 years, and it was good to see your operators are still sharp, Jay. So we appreciate everything you guys did, and Justin, to keep everything clean. And I wish you all happy holidays and a happy new year.
Thank you. Council members, any comments?
I would
Just-
also,
Go ahead, Doug.
No, go ahead.
I just want to echo some of the things that have been said, and I live on a dead-end street, and they did it very well today, so thank you. But also a huge thank you to Caitlin and Amy. You've done a fabulous job, and you'll be missed. But thank you very much.
And I'd like
Know what
to,
I'm going to do with my Tuesdays after 12 years.
we'll find something for you.
I'm
Amy.
sure.
I'd also like to echo the snow removal, and I noticed there's a lot of trees that are down, and they did a whole yeoman effort in getting those. We had a situation in our neighborhood, but we were able to resolve it with the private parties involved, and it worked out very well, and everything is taken care of. So my hat's off to the public service men who did that. They were out all hours taking care of that. And I, too, would like to thank Councilwoman Gochner and Amy Wicks. You know, Ogden's, when you took office, we were at one stage of Ogden, and we're at another stage this time. And I think we're better off because of your service, and you can be happy and proud of what you achieved here in Ogden, and I thank you for your service.
Anyone else?
I would just like to thank my Secret Santa at the City Council party for this beautiful sweater I got, and I just figured this is a great place to wear it. So thank you to whoever put the time and effort into this, and I want to wish you all a happy holiday season.
Thank you. Anyone else?
And I want to thank you both as well. I have loved being mentored by both of you, and will miss your the female perspective on the council. So thank you.
Well, seems like we're going down the line. So
Hey, we're coming back.
Yeah.
this is true. I wanted to also thank you for, Caitlin, you were the chair when I was brand new, and you spent a little kind time with me, and I appreciate that. And Amy and I have shared a few things in the last 4 years also that has been a blessing to me, and I feel better for my associations with both of you, and I know the city is far better off because of the service that you've rendered. And you know, this isn't something you do for anything other than because you love the city, and we appreciate your attitudes. And I know that your Tuesdays will fill up, both of you, because you're that kind of people. You'll give in some way. And,
No doubt on the other side.
Probably. But anyway, thank you again. Okay, we're still going down the line. Either one of you?
Hey, we're coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, so Merry Christmas.
All right. Oh, yeah.
But thank you to all of the people who've taken care of the streets and the trees, and it was a mess. And
the leaves.
Yeah, and the leaves, dealing with the leaves too, and getting Christmas Village ready and all of that. I think a lot of your people go without much thanks, Jay, and I just want them to know that I appreciate what they do, and I think the citizens who are able to safely drive down the streets appreciate what they do too. So, thank you.
All right. I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We've got a motion by Councilman Garner, seconded by Councilmember Blair to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Just as a reminder, there will be a special redevelopment agency immediately following this meeting, and that will be followed by a city council work session. There you go. All right, well, good evening. Welcome to our December 15th, 2015 Ogden Redevelopment Agency special meeting. Let the roll call reflect that all board members are present. And the first item on our agenda tonight is our common consent agenda. And there's only one item on there, fiscal year 2016 budget amendment and loan agreement. Do we have a motion?
I will make a motion that we adopt the item of common consent and set the public hearing for January 5th, 2016.
I second it.
Okay, I have a motion by Board Member Garner, second by Board Member Stevens. Set the public hearing for January 15th on the common consent item. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next is public comments. This is an opportunity to address the board regarding your concerns or ideas for the Ogden Redevelopment Agency. Please state your name and address clearly for the record. Limit your comments to 3 minutes. Okay, seeing no movement. RDA Executive Director.
Nothing at this time, thank you.
And board members.
Just Merry Christmas.
Okay, look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Board member Blair has motioned that we adjourn, seconded by Board Member Wicks. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, as a reminder, we will have a city council work session immediately following, and the items to be discussed are on the agenda.